spent one. Does anybody have any questions? Jen.
Remember we were given the choice to either do Vajrasattva or Padmasambhava in terms of doing the mantras and the work. So I was thinking that perhaps at some point I might do the Padmasambhava practice and do maybe the 10,000 of the 7-line prayer and try to generate some merit. And then, but I wondered what else was involved with that actual practice because I can't really remember because we all wanted to focus on Vajrasattva at the time. So I was just wondering if you could give just a brief overview of that one again, and then maybe in the future I will do that over time.
When are you thinking of doing the practice?
I was thinking perhaps when I go on my solo retreat and just work up a little bit each day. So I'll be on my own, I'll be in nature, I'll be cut off from internet and devices and things like that. So it seemed like the perfect opportunity to be able to do this over that week or maybe 10 days. I'll see how much time I've got, but it's in July.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful practice, profound practice. And if we're doing a retreat, then in the future on it, then I can work up some instructions and some practice to do closer to the time. Because, in the meantime, just do the Padmasambhava sadhana, which includes the 7-line prayer and the Guru mantra. And yeah, it's good to do 10,000 7-line prayers, 100,000 Guru mantras. But if you're drawn to the 7-line prayer, then do 10,000 or 20,000 or 100,000 of the 7-line prayer. And then we can go into later on we can go into the meaning of it and do it like a seven-line prayer commentary. I mean, it's a big practice. You can have that on the back burner and to set up the retreat that currently it's just going to be mainly like sitting in silence. That's what we're going to be doing together. Yeah. Because that way it can be filled with anything. But we're going to be going into it with the momentum and energy of the Master. And you might have a completely different feeling after getting the instructions for five days on being right in that space for like a week to then to go off and do Guru Padmasambhava may feel really off kilter. Or it may just go, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. But I wouldn't, if you come into the retreat with the Master, then I wouldn't hold too tightly on doing Guru Padmasambhava, but we're going to take the energy of whatever is taught onto a retreat. So we can't go wrong. We're just like emphasizing that we'll be doing a lot of silent sitting, regardless of what is taught. It's always going to rest in silence. So, don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you can practice Guru Padmasambhava now. Do the practice, because that's just an archetype for the master. Anyone else? Dr. Rahim.
It's to do with. I'm not sure there is a question here, but it's to do with like the theme of accepting who you are. And I guess the question is. So recently, I've been that's been like a thing I've been seeing more like who I am, um, without the wanting to change it. And then also seeing that when I'm seeing who I am, almost that it is well, one, it's quite different to what I've been doing for the last wee while, uh, and two, it's like it's not that well, the word normal, like it's not, it's quite against a lot of norms uh, of society. Um, but I guess the question is because recently making some decisions and changes, it's like it comes like a ripple effect into others, and there's been like it's like challenging seeing that it does affect others in initially it seems like slightly hurtful ways. Um, but yeah, I'm just unsure on. I guess it's like I'm unsure that if you are making decisions from that space of accepting who you are, is there a possibility that a part of my mind is like, well, if it's hurting others, in some ways, is if it's hurting others, maybe I'm not making a decision from the right place. Yeah, that's kind of, I can't really get a question from that, but you know the general vibe.
I just picked out a book just before we started, and this beautiful quote from Donpa. In order to follow the path of knowledge, one has to be very imaginative. On the path of knowledge, nothing is as clear as we'd like it to be. Does anyone disagree with it? It's just... Don't know about you guys, but I don't often meet many people who think they're wrong. Don't know you. Go for a chat in a cafe, or people start talking about current events or spirituality or movies. Most people think they're right. Now, if someone points out something and you're wrong, can you accept it? And can you accept that what you think about things is probably wrong? If you can't accept it, you're unlikely to look at different views on current events. You're unlikely to look at different spiritual traditions or paths. You'll probably double down on your belief because you can't accept it. Acceptance is intrinsic to changing who you are. If you can't accept who you are, you won't change it. You can't accept it. I mean, how can you change it if you can't accept it? If you're not, it's like fundamentals. You can't accept that you're wrong. So then people develop a sense of holier than thou. Their opinion, holier than thou. My opinions. You should listen to my opinions. Now, can you accept that maybe you're like that? If you can't accept it, no, I'm not like that. You just continue. Who's this guy think he is? Tell me, I'm humble, I listen to people. So when we're on the spiritual path, this is like trying to find out like who we are is a lifetime's journey. And Ramana Maharishi says there's no actual answer to it. Like who you are, most people like, I'm a good worker. I'm a good worker. Like, can you accept if you're not? Is it just like sort of a presumed assumption that I'm a good worker? In actual fact, good workers work 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you realize, I'm not a good worker. Can you accept it? Can you accept you're lazy if you're lazy? So like samsara is we have a whole kind of bundle of contradictory wishes. Yeah. We may want to be thin and eat lots of sweet foods all the time. Yeah. My favourite. You may want to be popular but demand your own way all the time. Can you accept who you are? So this takes a long time to kind of look and really go, I really thought I was a good friend, but I'm not. I'm not that good. But you go, no, I'm a good friend. It's defensive kind of. So it's a defensive overlay of, no, my view on the government is right. And if someone comes, just defensive attack. Defensive overlay on a kind of personal self. And acceptance It's just looking and seeing what is. When you see it, when you see that you have turned away from God, then you can change it. If you just go, no, I believe in God and I know what God is and I know what reality is, and you can't know God, nothing's going to happen. Someone says, that's pride. Can't accept it. No, that's just the way things are. I'm not being proud. So we need this, we need to listen to the teachings and then understand to comprehend what it means to accept who we are. And that's always changing. So that acceptance is like a skill in how to manage what we're seeing at any given moment. And when you get on the path, is can you accept that you're now more advanced than your partner? And then can you speak to them appropriately and behave with them appropriately? Can you not accept it? You want things to stay as they are when they were a bit above you. It works both ways. Can you accept that you're actually very loving and they're selfish? Can you accept it? Can you see that? Can you handle it? Or do you just continue like, no, it's like, I'm a bodhisattva, like, I'm going to work on myself. But actually, you just can't accept that your partner is not very pleasant. Can you accept it? So, my master said that maybe more important than love is truth, because you can't always be loving, but you can always be truthful. And truthful means accepting things as they are, right? That's the truth of things as they are. Then you can like step back and go, right, I'm not as spiritual as I thought I am, or I am more spiritual than I thought I am. It's not like a fixed thing. There's nothing fixed. You know what I mean? So it's a skill and a quality and then a flavour inside ourselves of just as much as possible with as much wisdom, clarity, honesty, sincerity, we just see how we are. That's fine. I'm flawed. Like I practice this amount of time. I see that as a good level to be at for where I am. There's always somebody better than me. There's always someone worse. I'm someone who doesn't want to do the 5 prayers every day and all the other prayers. I'm someone that doesn't want to meditate 8 hours a day. I'm someone who can't do that. It's okay. This is the way I am at the moment. And we accept that we want to change that. These 2 elements, we accept as we are at the moment, and we want to accept what we want to envision ourselves to change into. Do you not? Does anybody think when they accept themselves as they are, that's it? That you're stuck forever in that space? It's ludicrous. So it's not like some fixed judgment on an objective, static phenomenon. It's a quality of moving with what is there to the best of your ability. Instead of denying it, instead of projecting a higher self, instead of projecting things onto your partner or your work. When we do, and so when we ask, does it make sense to you? What is there? Someone tell me what's out there. What's there? Samia.
What comes to my mind is a projection of my mind.
Projection of your mind. Well, we said projection of your mind. Does anybody disagree? Baron.
Peace be upon you. I intellectually agree, but existentially disagree.
What do you existentially think? What you see is what's there, like tree.
Yeah.
Right.
And people. And problems. They get me.
Okay, right. You see a person. Yeah?
Yeah, I admit it.
Right. What's a person? What do you see?
My ideas.
No. Like again, not being
Okay.
just like. What do you see?
A personality, a fixed way that someone is, like that's who they are, the way they've been.
Like, so you've got your idea of them in your head, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a person. Well, kind of good, bad, right? So, is that what the Sheikh sees? Like when you look at Hakim and you just have these ideas about him and stuff, that's Hakim. That's what he is. That's what you're relating to, yeah. And when you're relating to Hakim, as like you say, Hakim is that what the Sheikh sees?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's only limited to the same things that you're seeing.
No, only.
No. God knows what he's seeing, right? He can see more into Hakim than Hakim can see in himself. Would you agree with that?
Probably, yeah.
So who's right, you or the Sheikh?
I would say the Sheikh. But that's saying that's attributing more value to that perspective. Like limited isn't wrong.
So the Sheikh's perspective. No. So within the book, there was another quote that was on the next page, I think, wasn't it? Which is really beautiful as well. Here we go. We perceive. This is a hard fact. But what we perceive is not a fact of the same kind, because we learn what to perceive. So you're perceiving, that's all you can say. You're perceiving and the Sheikh is perceiving. And the point is, can you accept what you're perceiving?
No.
Hell no. You accept it. You just think, this is the way things are. This is the way my projector's working. This is basically, we're projecting. Can you accept that your projector's broken?
No. It's so hard. It's so painful. It's so painful. It's basically like, can you just be happy? Like, no. And it's hard to, yeah, you can see the pain that the projection causes, but as you said, it's like seeing it, just seeing it is different from seeing it and being in pain, suffering it. Like I can see it. I can see like, oh wow, the projector's broken and it hurts, and it's causing me to feel like I'm this certain person that's stuck in amongst it, but I can't just be like, and that's okay, or that's how it is. Maybe there's just seeing that wishing it was different, or non-acceptance. It's weird. Is seeing non-acceptance acceptance, or is it just a state of being? Or is that all just one?
Well, I like this analogy. If we need complete clarity that our projector's broken, that's what we mean. And no one in their right mind, when they completely understand their projector's broken, leaves it. When you don't understand your projector's broken, you might leave it. We did. Remember, you had your projector, this brand new, sparkling 50,000K, brainwashing machine. I'm going, is it broken? Is it wrong? I'm going, well, they get these tracing colours. Is it, you're working, is it broken? Is it, as soon as you kind of established it's broken, you send it back. If no one had talked about it, you might sit there for a while, even longer, right? And just going, well, something doesn't feel right. It's a good analogy. When you enter into the spiritual zone, this is why you never convert people. It's you're immediately looking to see if the projectors are broken in that space. When you're out with the spiritual group, spiritual context, then you just accept whatever the projector is that's working with them. Oh, look at your projectors. And some people are like that, right? Whenever you just go, okay, this is not for me to judge. My projector's broken. I mean, I'm on the way to fixing it, but it's still broken. It's close. It's close. Like they could put, there's a little bit off. It's close. It's not like it's just going repeating the same image over and over, which is most people's projectors, right? No, it's work. That's how projectors are.
So there's the denial that my projector's broken. Like when you ruminate over situations with people, you're then back into the images of the broken projector, rather than just being like, I've seen that it's broken, and I've kind of tricked myself into believing it's real, what it's saying.
Yeah.
Comes and goes between the two.
Yeah. And it takes a long time. This is like to see how we are, that the projector's broken.
Is the pain the narrative of the broken projector that kind of pulls you in the story with it?
Yeah. Is it not?
Yeah, because when I'm happy, if I've been on retreat or I go back to work, it's like everyone appears beautiful. So it's like, oh wow, that's incredible. And then when you get overworked or like I just subject myself and overdo it, then it starts becoming negative and it changes. It's clear that.
Yeah,
I can't stop. I can't stop.
That's what the spiritual path is, Baron.
Yeah.
That's what all the practices are.
Oh, jeez.
It's whatever practice works for you to bring you back to that space where you see things clearly. When you see things clearly, you love other people. You love the world. You're at peace. You're at contentment. Not that the situations are not difficult, but you accept them. You're content with it. You work with it as it is. But that's what the practices are for. It's like Hakim said the other day, that it's like just realizing more and more it's just my own mind. It's just your mind. Buddhahood does not exist outside of your mind. It's just your mind seeing things as they are. The mind of projectors currently got stains on it, like Rumi said, he polished the mirror. The projector thing is black. When people play the film, it's just black. You squeeze it and it's like, it's like the focus is out. And it's like all these things that are just like. And so you imagine it's like just black. You go around to someone else's house and are you watching the box and it's just black. You watch, and then someone's house is like for 5 seconds you see full, pure sports of it. Wow! That's what a projector does. And he goes, back. It was just like a one moment in which it worked. And then it's just, oh, it's on, it's on. That's what we're doing in meditation. We get one glimpse. It's like, oh, 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 oh. Sometimes we have a moment, it's just 30 seconds. Oh, the sound's working. It's like, oh my God, oh, at least the sound's working. You might get stuck there in one of the stations. The sound is working. The first station, where you go is repentance, is return. It's going, right, I need to come back and fix my projector. It's like, I need to come back. And it's like, it's not to fix the projector, it's to come back to the instruction manual on how to fix them. You call that the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the Tao Te Ching. And it's like, I can't make head nor tail. It's what's, you know what, you can have someone help you who knows how to fix projectors. Right. How do you fix this bit? It's like, well, you do that. It's like, no, I can't be bothered. Isn't it? Can't be bothered. And when you do get it working for a bit, you say, oh, it's amazing. It's like, well, you have to do this, this, and that to maintain it. Well, it's working just now. Fuck it. I'll just ride on this fact that it's working. But it's not going to last. You have to keep doing this. Oh, and then it breaks down again. Then it's like, oh, you're missing bits of dialogue and you're fighting with the thing. Come back into the lab, and you fix it again. It's like, well, you can't just leave it. You have to maintain it. It's like, oh, well, it's working just now. Yeah, again and again. Everyone understands. That's all the Siddhana is. It's like we're just polishing, fixing, looking. This basic understanding. Things are not out there objectively that we see. You've got an overlay. And what we're projecting is usually unpleasant. It's usually from anger, selfishness, pride. One of many delusional states. When we're practicing Tantra, we're projecting love, Buddhas, divine. We're projecting, but it's a beautiful projection. And then in Mahamudra, you're just seeing things as they are.
And when you're talking about projection in that context there, it's like for Tantra, it's an do you really mean it's like an existential projection rather than a mental overlay?
No, it's still imagination. When we talked before, it's like everything we're doing is through symbols and imagination. What you're seeing, say, we talk about Hakim, what you're seeing about Hakim, is that really Hakim, or is it your ideas of Hakim, your thoughts about Hakim, your images? Now, when you think about Hakim, do you go into no mind, bring his being up, and rest in pure presence with his being and perceive him? Or do you think words about him?
Words.
So you're going through symbols and imagination. Mm-hmm. So instead of like thinking symbols that we label the English language, you go through symbols like Vajrayogini, Haruka, Christ, and you like project images connected to his pure being. We offer him flowers and offer him healing and love and give him light. Just symbols. But they have a different effect on our relationship to Hakim than symbols that just stir up judgment and bad energy and separation. I mean, love, Tantra's built on love, and in love we are kind of trying to go beyond the projector in which you are Hakim. Like you feel into Hakim. That you feel into your son. as much as you can, you want to feel into yourself. It's harder for guys than women. Women are just much more naturally. Right, he's upset because he's tired. You're like, is he? Right? That makes sense. We're always moving through a perceptual framework. The tantric path is that we imagine it first, but then actually we'll be moving when we're awakened through a pure perceptual framework. You see pure beings. You'll see the lights of God, whatever it is. Yeah, so then that's the whole understanding of the five delusions, the energy that we have inside us, the five root delusions, become the five wisdoms, represented as the five Buddha families, so that the energies within us are like Buddha energies. They're transformed. Yeah. So we transform them through imagination, through symbols, and then we transform them through consciousness itself. And through that space we purify our experience with the world. And we have a pure projector. Is this making sense, Evan? It just comes back to the same principle. There's nothing out there. Everything depends on our mind. So it's like, well, how do I change my mind? That's the spiritual practice. That's my refuge. Because if I have a pure projector, I am free from suffering. That pure mind is inseparable from the divine. The divine is the refuge. The divine is the pure life itself. And the realization that the Dharma jewel is that realization that where you existentially manifest that experience. And the Sangha jewel are those that have realized that, who help guide you, give you energy and inspiration, people to say, lean on. Okay.
Did you say before the shake has gone beyond the projector in some way?
Well, there's an element, what I call the awareness of the awareness. It's like the perception of perception itself. No, we're not perceiving anything other than the ability that we perceive. It's one way to say it, right? And in the absolute, then from the absolute's point of view, in the Book of Love, we said these are all signs. These are all signs of that which created. And by seeing all the manifestations, which are all just signs, you come back to that which is beyond signs. But I think we only rest in the absolute when all the universes have dissolved back. For that, then, you rest in the absolute, and then you're manifesting as a perceptual being in a vehicle in order to interact. You can't, that's like when we do the meditation practice, the imagination, when you're in that Dharmakaya state, you can't interact. You're beyond normal perceptual frameworks. But when you enter into the game, then, otherwise, if you offered the Sheikh some chips, he wouldn't be able to conceive, he wouldn't be able to, there'd be nothing there. But he wouldn't be there, there'd be nothing, he wouldn't be perceiving anything, he would be perceiving a body, or... That's my understanding. Like the deep understanding of non-duality is that what's appearing is inseparable from that which is beyond appearance. Which the mind can't fathom because it's non-dual, and the mind only functions through dual notions. It cannot function in non-duality. You can intellectually kind of get a grip on what it means, but the actual existential experience, the mind cannot function. That makes sense? You? I'll read you something else from that. Just quote after quote. Quote after quote is absolutely. This is in relation to having someone horrible in your life, a really horrible boss, partner, a petty tyrant, Don Juan calls them. So really, in the world. He says, what seems natural is to think that a warrior who can hold his own in the face of the unknown can certainly face petty tyrants with impunity. It seems natural that if you can rest in emptiness, in space like samadhis, you can easily deal with the world. But that's not necessarily so. What destroyed the superb warriors of ancient times was to rely on that assumption. Nothing can temper the spirit of a warrior as much as the challenge of dealing with impossible people in positions of power. Only under those conditions can warriors acquire the sobriety and serenity to withstand the pressure of the unknowable. Amen. If you want to know God, you have to deal with the world. If you can't deal with the world, you will not know God. If you can take a horrible, be in this mud and then take this unreasonable, horrid creature and can take it, transform it. You can do anything. Don't you?
Feel like you just talking about that there. I have just finished my last day with the Sheriff Appeal Court. So there was a lot of positions of authority, there was a lot of difficulties and problems about legal language and all these things. And at one point on the last day, I was just losing the notion of kind of wanting to be there. So in my head, I did the daily Aurad, and I was saying al-haq, because truth is what was required. And it transformed the situation for me. And what I was hearing from those three judges was much more truthful and much more in myself and my colleagues' favour. And I was like, wow, because it was almost like a spell had taken place that had changed the situation. I mean, I'm not going to know the outcome, but facing what feels like that level of petty tyrant, the only way that I could change my own situation was to pray, and it was hugely beneficial. So it feels like what you've just read is actually an example of what I've just experienced. It probably is going to be the most highest level of authority I ever come across in my life. I certainly hope so, in that kind of system sense. But yeah, it's really interesting. So I could relate with Don Juan in that respect.
Yeah, beautiful. It pushes us to either be impeccable or crumble. So again, it's like the spiritual path. It's always like this choice between impeccable or crumble. Each moment. Yeah. And sometimes we fall. Sometimes we rise. Sometimes we fall. Sometimes we rise. But the point is, we don't run. We try not to run away from the situations that we're given. Like Don Juan wanted to run away, and his teacher went when he found out, because I think he like found him. I think his boss shot him along those lines. Then his like boss found out what was doing and sent him back. He went, that situation is too good. It's too good for you not to like rub up against your ego and learn and transform it. And it's the best chapter of one of the best chapters of any book ever. It's so good. It's so good. That's why we're here. This is like a school. And like the Sheikh said, if you not come to the level of peace, then you have to go back and do it again. If you're in conflict, it's profound. Conflict means you can't accept things the way they are. Just in conflict. It's good to understand, like when you get to heaven, there's no conflict. It's just peace. And again, on the spiritual journey, we refine and refine and refine till you realize, like, you're at conflict the way the door opens. You're in conflict the way your partner walked across the room. You're in conflict with the fridge. You're in conflict with Sainsbury's. You're in conflict with what food is in the food aisle. You're in conflict with the speed your child is growing. You're in and on, right? So can anyone relate to that? Yeah, not just me talking about myself. Relatable. It's like, and this ability just to accept peace. That's all. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. So now we go into the realms of the mind can't get, because the ultimate way to change the situation, the petty tyrant, is to not try and change it. So it's this, in that world, they call it the art of stalking, the ability to not directly try and change, because then it's the ego doing it, and it's like this idea of yourself and the idea of somehow you let God in, the will of God. You kind of, as much as possible, get the way you accept it totally, but knowing that is what's going to really change you. It's a real skill, right? There's thousands of practices, and they all condense down into these things. There's 6 paramitas. One of them is patience. And said before, the entire path can be condensed down to acceptance. The entire path. But you can understand it like this: no conflict. Try it for a day. I'm not going to have any conflict with anything. I'm not going to have any conflict about the way my mind's thinking. I'm not going to have any conflict about this. You take it as a challenge, right? No, I'm not going to have any conflict about the way my meditation's progressing. Like, it should have been better. No conflict about it. Just is what it was. So for the murid, as the Sheikh says, very difficult practice, is to not interfere. You don't interfere with what's happening. So, if your partner wants to watch Who's the Boss or whatever, some fixing holes in the ground or whatever nonsense people watch, that's what you watch. When they stop watching it, that's when you stop watching it. And they say, do you want to watch something? Do you want to keep watching them? If you want. With no resentment. That's what we now do. You can only do it with love, right? Can't do it without love. You haven't got any love, you can't practice the path. It's like, what are we going to eat? Whatever you want. No, maybe if they ask you, what do you want to eat, then you can say, because they've asked you. But if they say, well, we're going to eat this, you go, okay. They've got the heating on. You're hot, we keep the heating on, because they've got the heating on, which means they want it on. Yeah, it's a classic thing on the bus. I used to get the bus every day for 40 years of my life, whatever it is. Someone shuts the window, someone opens it. It's too hot for one person, too cold for another. Who gets to open it, who gets to close it? For the Sufi, for the murid, you don't get to open it or close it. That's the training. Yeah. Unless you're in a position of authority, and it's your job, and obviously you have to do that. Out with that. So if your partner says, I don't want you meditating, okay, you have to do it in bed, secret. It's a hard training, in one way. Part of the path. Yeah, no conflict. Let's see how much you can take. See how much you can take before the I asserts itself. It's like, we're going outside now, okay. It's like, you're wearing this today, okay. So I don't like that clothes, okay. If it's a fight, then obviously stop doing the practice because you can't do it. Every now and again, of course, they might like, but if it's like all the time, then it's like you're not ready for it yet. Yeah, you still like conflict. You still want to assert your egoic sense of self. Not easy. If you really like repelled by the practice, all right, don't worry about it. It's like it's a practice. It's like, but we do whatever it takes. Have to get to this stage of no conflict. Once you've trained in it, then you can assert yourself. It's going back to your question, Abdul Rahim. It's we have to train ourselves and train ourselves to know what's kind of delusions. And then when we understand, well, I'm not speaking from a delusional state, and my partner is, and you have to tell them, and you have to sort them, and you have to assert yourself. The training for the not asserting yourself is making sure you clear out your mind and your usual egoic states until you can speak from truth. A level of truth that's more. Does that make sense? No? No?
Yeah, I think that's sort of exactly what is happening. There is some level of assertion coming out, and it's actually good. It's just a different experience for me. Um, and it's a wee bit like, whoa, what am I doing? Because I'm not used to it. But actually, I can see, although it's like creating certain ripples, I can see it's for the best. And I, the like Nimra, for example, has recently said, "Oh yeah, that is the right thing." And that's kind of like that's not the motivation why I did it, but to hear that back, it's like, okay, me actually now doing this assertion, it is right now. Before, I would have been all muddied and nonsense before, but yeah.
That's right. That's right. When you've got a deep understanding that that person is really just coming from their delusions, it's not helpful to just acquiesce to. So it all depends where we are, and all depends on all different situations. That's what I mean. Why it's not clear and easy to unwind it. We're different all the time, and we have to continually work out where we're at and what we need to practice and what needs to be said. Yeah, good. Has anybody got anything else before we go? We're all good. That's just the last Q&A for a while, but we'll see what comes up. We've got a couple of classes Wednesday and Sunday. Yeah, we've got class Wednesday, class Sunday, then week off, and then weekend retreat. I think they're doing more works, like living in a continuous work site. Yeah, classic bureaucracy. Yeah, they've got money, they have to spend it. They have to keep making things so they won't get the money. So yeah, if you want to, please ask any questions or write to what we're going to do, you're going to do for the next couple of months. Please do so, that would be nice. So thank you very much for your time and attention. Have a beautiful day with your families. Don't create any conflict. Yes, no conflict, Baron. No conflict. Have a bit of conflict about that already, right? What do you mean no conflict? I was like, instantaneous conflict. Okay, thank you very much. God bless.